But I think we're falling for it, for sure. Yeah. The idea that Kamala Harris is like an actual person, I'm sure she can fog a mirror, but beyond that, she's just a cipher. She'll be whatever you want her to be. Pay her enough, she'll be a radical vegan or anti-circumcision activist or whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. She might even build a wall.
100%.
Or claim she wants to.
100%. She's a kind of sad puppet, clearly unhappy, terrified. I know benzodiazepine use when I see it, and I'm like, that chick's had some Xanax, just vacant. She's afraid. She wakes up afraid every morning, and you can tell the people who are afraid, which is a lot of people, and she's chief among the fearful. But anyway, the Republicans fell for it. The leadership fell for it. They're falling for it now. And they also fell, and I hope you'll flesh this out a little bit, they fell for the idea that the media act independently of the Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. I think that that's a trap we have repeatedly fallen into over the last 8 years. But I just think this idea, it's not an accident that you get Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. There are a lot of intelligent people who are, believe it or not, intelligent people. They have a high IQ, brain power. They can make their own decisions. They're thinkers who are Democrats, people on the left, ideologues, who people like you and I might disagree with, but some of whom you and I might actually be friends with because we respect them even though we disagree with them. It's not an accident that you get Joe Biden and then a Kamala Harris and then the next puppet they put up. Biden has cognitive deficits, right? Those are not a bug. They are a feature for the people who control him. Kamala Harris has a different kind of deficit. She has policy deficits, cognitive deficits, you could argue. Those are also, again, not a bug. They're a feature for the people who actually operate the puppet. And so I think that it's going to be a losing game unless we see ourselves as running against that system. And I think this is actually going to be, let's assume victory here, right? Let's fast forward. It's not just winning the election. It's actually, are we actually going to do what conservatives, Republicans, when they've governed, have long failed to do? I think the real myth we've fallen into is this trap of believing that we can reform this system, that we're going to reform the deep state, that we're going to fire Christopher Wray or whoever at the top of the FBI and put in a new figurehead on top, that we're going to reform the bureaucracy. And I think that reform is just a myth, right? It's impossible. We're not running against, it's not that Christopher Wray is an individual bad actor at the top of the FBI. He's just another cog in the system, just like Kamala Harris, just like Joe Biden. And so the question for us, the real test for us, I think, Tucker, is not going to be the election in November. It is going to be whether we have the spine to actually see through and do the hard thing that we've never done before. Nobody's done it. No, Donald Trump in his first term is the closest we've gotten. But nobody's really stepped up and said, no. Are we actually going to try to reform and massage this thing to incrementally window dress it and advance our own goals? Or are we actually going to get in there and shut it down? And I think that is the one answer that will save this country. And I'm supporting Donald Trump because I believe he's the man who is going to be the best suited to get that job done. But the real test comes not in November, but after that to me.